Now, something that is very specific to our two major eating disorders are Pro-Ana and Pro-Mia websites. So these are websites that have been around since the start of the internet, and they are all about, being for anorexia or pro bulimia. So these websites often argue that food restrictions and dieting and those types of things might actually be a valid lifestyle choice. So these websites often contain things for, how do we restrict food intake, inspiration pictures and videos. People might engage in different types of discussion boards, and a lot of people that are posting on here actually do maintain vlogs about their journeys with anorexia or bulimia. So immediately you might be like, whoa, we should not have this on the internet, right? Especially if we think about media having an impact on our own body image. Even if it's a small impact, that still means that somebody might be impacted by this. And there really has been a lot of weighing out the pros and cons. And some cons, they often model behaviors that contribute to eating disorders. And this could be a trigger for relapse for people that are viewing these websites. So if somebody's been doing pretty well and then has been surfing these websites, they may actually get triggered for a relapse. At the same time, a lot of these pro-Ana and Mia communities actually do show a lot of support for each other. If you think about it, this and other mental health disorders that are out there really make you feel alone. A lot of disorders make you feel like nobody is there. And so this is one way to get support from individuals. And this could lead to a lot of safe expression of how they're feeling. So it might be that somebody is trying to recover and they may be able to talk about recovery in a very safe place. And so some of these websites actually do give you a lot of inclusion and belonging. And this was all done by a study that was really looking at what is in these different types of websites, what's in a Pro-Ana, Pro-Mia website. And they did find that there's a lot of support. So I guess to say, if you're thinking about, should we just take these all off the internet, we may want to reconsider that. If we took them all off, what are we losing? If we took them all off, what supports are people having and what are they losing at that point? And just to let you know that Tumblr, Pinterest, and this is Instagram, they've all really decreased their hashtags and are all this type of Pro-Ana or Pro-Mia information. So when I was looking up just hashtags, I actually did this a couple of months ago, but on Instagram, this is what popped up for me. Posts with words or tags you're searching often encourage behavior that can cause harm and even lead to death. If you're going through something difficult, we'd like to help. So we have some things that are helping us to moderate some of that. So if I start looking up Thinspo, I don't think Thinspo actually works, but Thinspo actually ended up being that they were trying to give me support. So I think that that's kind of cool that they're starting to figure out ways of intervening in a helpful manner rather than just banning it all outright. And that might actually help a lot with how people are processing this. And although I've focused a lot of this talk on women and girls, Social media is something that both boys and girls are dealing with and are engaging in, and even people that are are not cisgendered, even individuals who are not cisgendered also are engaging in this. So that is something just to note, that we do see a lot of social media and social life being put on display from both girls and boys. And this is a little bit of an older study, which I didn't see an update on. It's 2012, but they really did see that people really think about, or children really think about what they're putting online. That 45% of girls versus 24% of boys worry about people posting ugly photos of them. And 28% of girls versus 9% of boys have edited photos of themselves. So you see that even how we're portraying ourselves is something that happens very early on now with social media. So I just wanted to leave us with some conclusions about all of this. It seems like there is an association between media and body image. But if so, it may be a much smaller association than what we're led to believe. There's a lot of hype out there about how awful social media is. And it's not necessarily true that social media is always bad. So I just want us to really couch that in our conclusions and really our thoughts about social media and body image. On top of that, we don't know where that association comes from, right? Is it that I have negative body image and then look at social media all the time, or is it vice versa? We're not really quite sure. So again, correlation does not mean causations. Boys and girls are still careful about what they post online and how they're being portrayed. So they do care about body image. So that is something to be said about how the social media might influence the next generations, and something that we might really want to think about. And if we're thinking about very specific to pro-Ana and pro-Mia websites, there's pros and cons to eliminating these websites. So having a community and having a space to share is sometimes really beneficial, especially if you feel so alone. So I hope that was informative and helped you just kind of think through some of these things about media and how that might influence our body image or eating patterns. And I hope that, if you wanted to learn more, you can learn more about this topic. All right, have a good one.